Believe it or not, 20% of Australians say they've experienced race hate talk. A further 11% have experienced exclusion from their workplace or social activities because of race. And around about 5% of Australians have been physically assaulted due to their race. Now, the issue confronts many Australians every day, and some are still unsure about their options. Adam Goodes made his stand on the football field earlier this year, and for others, using social media has been their chosen method for outing offenders.
My family fought to keep this country free, you.
Well, for our focus interview this week, we speak to the newly appointed Race Discrimination Commissioner, Soutphommasane. I began by asking him if Australia does have a race problem.
Racism exists in Australia, that's for sure, but I think we often get caught up in the idea of diagnosing ourselves as a fundamentally or essentially racist country. And I think our history as a multicultural society and as a nation of immigration demonstrates that Australia is not a racist country.
Why is it, do you think, a problem to say that Australia is a racist country? Why is that wrong, or why is that offensive?
Well, the R word is a very powerful word, and I think when you do call something out as being racist or someone for engaging in racist behaviour, they can interpret that as meaning a complete condemnation of their character or their moral fibre. I think this gets in the way of calling out racist behaviour when it does happen. It's important to recognise that racism is as much about impact as it is about intention.
So is essentially what you're saying, that Australia could well be a casually racist country without knowingly being overtly racist?
Well, this goes to the heart of the question of casual racism, as you rightly point out, which is to say that there may be occasions when people have throwaway lines or joke about things and don't realise that they're causing offence to others based on race. When racism does happen, even if it's of a casual nature, it can belittle someone and make someone feel like they're a second-class citizen. And worst of all, it can empower people to humiliate others on the basis of race. So we have to confront this when it does happen, and also challenge our friends, our family and our colleagues to think twice about the impact of their words and their actions.
There's been a number of high-profile incidents of racism in the last year. Some on the AFL field, in the crowd, the Eddie Maguire incident. Are these significant setbacks, or do you see them as useful moments in terms of opening up a discussion?
It's ugly, but if we can take lessons from that, if we can be constructive in how we respond to it, then perhaps there can be something positive. And I think in the Adam Goodes case, for example, it certainly shone a light on the casual racism that can exist and the deep hurt and harm that can accompany racial slurs. So in that sense, I think there's been a silver lining in those episodes.
Tim, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Pleasure. Thanks, Hamish.